Thank you for joining us at this edition of Immigrate Open Day. Thank you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. This is Immigrate Open Day. I'm just going to allow a couple of more seconds for those getting into the room, and then we'll get cracking from there. In this edition of Immigrate Open Day, we'll be speaking with a UK global talent, Adewale Adetona, who will be sharing with us his journey, how he moved to the UK as an exceptional talent in the field of digital technology. Just to make sure that I'm not speaking to myself, could you pop in the chat if you can hear me and if you can see my screen? You can pop that in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. We'll be speaking around the exceptional talent and exceptional promise routes to the UK global talent. And our coach for today, Adewale Adetona, is already in the room. He's a digital technology expert and is also a global talent. Immigrate is the tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. And we say that Immigrate is around tech-enabled visa opportunities. I'll speak a bit around what Immigrate is and what we do at Immigrate first today. And then right after that, we'll be yielding the floor to our coach, Adewale Adetona, who will be sharing with us his journey as regards moving to the UK and his journey as regards getting an endorsement as a global talent. Later on in the session today, we'll be having question and answer sessions where we'll be able to ask our coach and also the Immigrate team questions around the topic, around what we've shared about today. And even if you have other questions around tech-enabled visa pathway generally, we can take those questions too. We have a couple of bonus information in the session today. One of them are some free resources, particularly if you're interested in the Tech Nation visa. There are some free resources that we'll be sharing at some point during today's session. Also, we have a bonus info around moving to the UK within a 3 to 6 months period, even if you do not qualify as a global talent today. We may also have some time for our open consultation session, during when we would ask you to come on stage, unmute yourself. We can't spotlight you if you don't have your video on, and then you can ask questions and interact with the facilitator and the coach today as well. And so that's by way of an agenda of what we'll be doing during the session today. We've had a number of previous Immigrate Open Day sessions so far, where we've spoken about tech-enabled visa pathway to multiple countries, including the UK, including the US, including Canada, including France. We've spoken about the Australia Global Talent. We've spoken about the UK Innovator Visa. We had a session in December where we spoke about 5 tech-enabled routes to relocation in 2022, and several sessions along that line. Those videos are available. You can go in and check them. It has a wealth of information, and we would like you to please take a look at those information because they are really, really, really useful and they are helpful. We've gotten very good feedback as regards this information. Today would be around the topic you see on the screen. Next edition of Immigrate Open Day will be on March 2nd, and we'll be focusing on move to the UK in 3 to 6 months. And we're not going to be talking about the global talent visa, and we will not also be talking about the student routes, but there are also other ways in which you as a tech professional, as a tech talent, you can move to multiple countries of the world. Immigrate is about tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement, and we will just be sharing a bit more around what Immigrate is. At Immigrate, we help you become globally attractive. That's our main objective, and we do that in 2 ways. We help you have a globally attractive tech profile or a globally attractive tech-enabled business. Most times that would be a digital technology product or a startup. We believe at Immigrate that the visa themselves, they are just a stepping stone. They are just a side effect of a bigger objective, the objective of being highly sought after, the objective of being globally attractive. We believe that if you are globally attractive, you would have options of many places in the world, because many forward-thinking countries all over the globe have created different types of programs to attract talents to their jurisdiction. They want you to bring your innovation. They want you to bring your talent. They want you to bring your money. They want you to bring your skills. They want you to set up in their jurisdiction because they know you will pay taxes. You will create employment, even if you are not an entrepreneur, because with every expat, there are other ancillary roles that are created for every expat that is in an economy, and several other opportunities like that. So they are not really doing you a favor for having the visa available. It's because they know you can help them. But the thing is that they want just the talents. They want just the brightest and the best. They want just the people that can add value to their economy, not people that would become burdens even onto their economy. And that's the reason why for us at Immigrate, the focus is around become globally attractive. Show that you are globally attractive, and then you have many options. Today, we'll be speaking around the UK, but there are several other options, as I mentioned, that we've spoken about: the Australia Global Talent Visa, the French Tech Visa, and some other ones as well. For us at Immigrate, we do a lot of things for free, because for us is around building the community, because we believe that you would be building your own country as well if you are globally attractive. Whether you choose to stay in your own country or you choose to relocate to a different jurisdiction, you would actually still be building your own country. Why? Because you would send remittance back to your own country, for example. You would also be an ambassador of your country, for example, and several other things like that. We do a lot of things for free, starting with information sessions, starting with general inquiry. If you have a quick question here and there, we're able to dedicate our time to answer those questions, because we believe that everybody would need help in one way or the other. We also offer coaching and handholding. We help with preliminary assessment of whether or not you qualify today. We also help with building a self-directed roadmap to qualifying. So if you do not qualify today, what if you can qualify in 3 months? What if you can qualify in 6 months or 1 year or 2 years? Nothing much more than that. We help with that. We can also help with handholding along that roadmap itself to ensure that you become globally attractive, because sometimes people need other people to go on the journey with. And these are part of the things that we do in the Immigrate community. We also help, for example, with the Global Talent Visa. If you need help with reviewing your Global Talent application, we can help with that. If you need help with the endorsement review process, which is with the Global Talent as well, we can help with that as well. In terms of the Immigrate services, as I mentioned, we do a lot of things for free, but we do have premium services as well. Information and inspiration, it's for free. We have the Immigrate community. Recently, we've launched on LinkedIn, we've launched on YouTube, we've launched on a bunch of other social networks as well. And we ask that you like, share, interact with us, interact with the community, speak with other people as well within the community who are also on the same journey as you are. We have the monthly Immigrate Open Day. Currently, we do that twice a month, and we've invited different coaches, like our coach who is in the room today as well, who are sharing their wealth of experience. We will always say that we do not offer immigration advice. We do not offer legal advice. However, we ask our coaches, we ask our guests, we share information around the experiences that they've had and that you can also learn from, particularly if you are in that pathway as well. We have a bunch of introductory videos. We ask that you watch those videos because they are very useful. We also do the Immigrate Open Consultation session, where you can come on stream and ask questions as it is relevant to you specifically. We have the Ambassador Office Hour, where we have on Tuesdays for now, where you can actually come in specifically for the Tech Nation visa now, and you can ask questions around the Tech Nation visa. We also offer short inquiry sessions. It's limited for now to just one short inquiry session per person. It's about 10 minutes. What we ask is that before you book any of those short inquiry sessions with any of the Immigrate coaches, we ask that you have consumed all the information that is available for free. Don't go into that session and ask things like, what is the technician visa? We have the open day to answer those kinds of questions. Go into that session asking questions that is relevant and unique and personalized to you. Let the coaches also see that you've put in the work, you've put in the time, and they are always willing to help. On the premium side, we do have a premium community as well. Aside from the open community, which is a free community, we have the Immigrate Circle, which is a premium community of like-minded people who are actually on this journey. And then we offer personalized coaching sessions. We have the standard package, we have the Immigrate premium package, and several others as well. If you're interested in any of these, please do well to indicate your interest at the URL on your screen. On the Immigrate community, we share a lot of information. We ask that you like, you engage with it, you ask questions, you comment, and so on across these different communities that we've set up at the moment. The communities are growing, and we're also working on growing engagement in these communities. Aside from the Immigrate service, we also have a bunch of other services within the Bincom Dev Center. Bincom Dev Center runs Immigrate at this point. Yes, we look forward to it becoming its own startup in the future, but right now it's incubated by Bincom Dev Center, and Bincom Dev Center has other services as well. One of them is the Bincom Global Tech Program. With the Bincom Global Tech Program, it helps you on three major pillars in the field of technology, particularly if you're a beginner. It helps you to learn skills, gain experience, and gain exposure in the field of technology. This program is very good for beginners. If you're a beginner level and you're looking for a way to get into tech, because it's around talent development. It's not really about training because the program forces you to learn by doing, but it helps you with those pillars that I've mentioned. But also, if you're already at some sort of intermediate level in the field of tech, but you are still captain local host, you don't have the right portfolio that is needed, you don't have the right experience and exposure that is needed, this program is also for you as well. It gets more interesting because the company is ready to bet its money on you and invest in you as well, to say you can learn tech now and pay later. What that means is that most of your fee you can pay when you start earning high income in the field of technology. If you're interested in that program, you can go to the link bincom.net/globaltech. For those of us that are highly experienced in the field of technology, 10 years experience, 15 years experience, or even maybe a little less as well, you would know that one of the ways you can show yourself as globally attractive is by mentoring. But Technician Visa specifically says that if you do mentoring and you do it in an informal setting, it doesn't count. And so the mentoring that counts has to be on a formal platform. Bincom has a mentoring platform, and we are always asking for mentors to join the platform. The reason is because we have many people within our community, within our ecosystem, who are looking for you as a mentor. And so you can dedicate your time, you can mentor on this structured platform. And what happens is also it builds your profile. It builds your profile as being globally attractive. It builds your profile as you are building the community. And so another one we have, which is a service of Bincom Dev Center, as I mentioned, is the Labs by Bincom. What this does is it helps you to build a product-led digital technology with a team. It's a 3 to 6 months program. And what you do within Labs is that you join a team of 3 to 10 people to create a startup. The interesting thing with this is that you're not just building something that will be in GitHub. No, we require with Labs by Bincom that whatever it is you're building would be used by real life users. It will be used by people who actually would give feedback. You would also be able to build more in terms of it. It's practical learning experience. It is you building your portfolio. It's an opportunity also for you to improve your career. The one more that I will speak about before I jump to the next section is the Headhunter service. And Headhunter service within Bincom Dev Center is a tech employment and recruiting service for individuals, particularly those relocating to the UK. If you know that you're going to be moving to the UK in 3 to 6 months, one of the things that you will find out on the other side of getting a visa to relocate is the fact that if you have the relevant experience in that target country, you are able to land your next role faster. If you have experience in a particular level, you are able to learn the roles that you need faster. And with the Headhunter service, it helps you to learn that role faster by giving you the relevant experience from today, by also connecting you with technical recruiters and so on to help you get what you need in the field of technology faster, sooner than later. For some of us in the room, you may want to take a screenshot of this slide because it talks about some of the tech-enabled visa routes that exist today. And every one of these routes has a pathway to settlement, or you can do other things to get you on the pathway to settlement. And so there's startup visa, there's the French tech visa, and several other visa types like that. There's a lowest common denominator across all these visa types, which is that you need to be globally attractive. And that's exactly what we help you to do within Immigrate as well, because we focus on pathway to settlement. We focus on opportunities that will enable you to move with your family. You can also plan for these pathways if you're a beginner. And for now, within Immigrate, we focus only on tech-enabled pathways. It's not only tech that enables you to move from your own country. Right now for the UK, for example, care visa is something that a lot of people are deciding that they want to do, become an house help so that you can move to your target economy. But the point is that you can do better than that if you're in tech because you have the right skill. If you are globally attractive, you would be high income earner in the field of technology rather than low income earning. Also, it's not an exhaustive list that we've shown, but the point is that many of these opportunities keep coming up. For example, the UK will soon have the scale-up visa, which will be launched soon, and several others like that. These are the things we focus on within Immigrate. Now, one of the questions you may ask is that I don't yet qualify today. What should I be doing? And this is part of the things that we do with the Immigrate community, which is mentoring and grooming you to say, oh, these are some of the things that you should be doing today, even if you do not yet qualify. I did mention that there were 2 bonuses that we'll be talking about today. One of them is around some free resources that you can get for the Tech Nation visa. Before we get, our coach will come up and will be sharing his own experience. Some of these free resources that exist, we would say that if you're interested in this specific visa, start with the Tech Nation visa guide. The guide will take you about 1 hour to read, and we advise that you read it the first time, then read it a second time as well, because it has a lot of information. Yes, spend that 1 hour, read everything that they're asking for, project into your future, or if you're already qualified today, start noting down some of the documents that you can submit that can prove the different criteria that they are talking about. If you need more help, there's a discourse community. The URL is on the screen where you can speak with. Also, you can ask questions publicly, and a lot of visa alumni for the Tech Nation visa particularly who are able to answer you. You can ask about, oh, what are documents that I can submit? You can ask any question that you want publicly, and they are able to answer you as well. In addition to that, and that's the second free resource, in addition to that, the Tech Nation team themselves have started doing office hours. And these office hours are to also help you to get your questions answered. So if you want to speak with the Tech Nation visa teams themselves, take a look at some of the office hours that they have and they are doing. It's planned to be monthly, though I think that's going to change very soon. But for now, plan to be monthly. And one happened, I think, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and there will be many more that would happen as well. Opportunity for you to engage directly with the people that manage the visa. Also, we have the Tech Nation Visa Ambassador Office Hour, where a couple of visa ambassadors are able to stay in a room. It's just a 30-minute session. It happens on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. UK time on Zoom. The link is on your screen as well. And so if you have a question around the Tech Nation visa, you can also jump onto that call and ask the question. The point is that the alumni, visa alumni, are volunteering their time to help, to give you the information that you need, to give you the inspiration that you need for you to get to the next level as well. And for those of us that have gotten our endorsement already, within the Immigrate community, we have over 14 success stories at the moment and all. We also have some resources that can be very helpful as well. Starting with you looking at the Tech Nation visa alumni community, because the visa alumni, you are moving to a new country, and to a large extent, the visa alumni is very, very, very useful. there's physical meetup that happens from time to time with the Tech Nation visa. And also there's a Slack community and a LinkedIn community that you should probably join if you've gotten your endorsement already or you've gotten your visa already. Within the Immigrate community as well, we have a bunch of success stories already. We are really proud of what we have done. And we do have our target for this year of over 100. And so these people are also willing to help. And so just ask for help. If you are moving, ask for help. We have also been working on something called Welcome Party, which is a document that just catalogs some of the things you should be thinking about when you are moving within your first 6 months, before you even move, within your first month, within your first 3 months, within your first 6 months, and even within the first year. There are things that you should probably do. There are things that some alumni wish they knew before now, and because they know these things, they put it together for you to also be able to use that information as a stepping stone for yourself. Finally, we will talk about the Immigrate community, which is also very helpful around your move. I've said a lot already, but today we'll be speaking with an exceptional talent, a global talent who will be sharing his own story, will be sharing his journey. We'll be talking about some of the things that he's known about, some of the things he knows now that he didn't know before, and some of the things that he did in terms of his own journey to becoming globally attractive, to becoming recognized by the UK government as globally attractive. And I will be yielding the floor now to our coach for the day. Please, if you have questions, drop your questions in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat. It will be faster to take questions from the chat before we are able to take questions from the rest of the community. In addition to that, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about some ways in which you can move to the UK, even if you don't qualify for this visa, within a 3 to 6 months period with some other visa route options as well. So that being said, Adewale, thank you so much for joining us today. The floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, guys. Good evening, buddy. Thanks so much for this opportunity. Don't take the privilege for granted. Thanks for inviting me here. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're listening from. If your goal is to emigrate to any part of the world, UK in particular, using tech-enabled path, yes, so Immigrate is the right platform for you to join, and thankfully you are here already. So there's a lot of opportunities, right, that abound in the tech space for people like you or people that you know that want to move to the UK or any other part of the world through tech-enabled visa, right? So as Badia said, so today I'll be talking about my own journey. Basically, I'm from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. My background is in marketing, digital marketing. I do a lot of stuff back home, apart from working full-time as a digital marketing expert. I'm also the convener of a Lagos Digital Summit. So Lagos Digital Summit is a platform that brings people together, right? Various digital tech professionals under a roof to come learn from people that are professionals, right, in their field. So Lagos Digital Summit has been running since 2017, right? We had the 5th edition last year in Lagos, and for each of the editions, we've been able to pull about 1,000 participants every year, right? And thankfully, to our sponsors who also have been able to be oiling our wheels, right? So I'm talking about Lagos Digital Summit because there's a context to that as I lead to this conversation, as I lead to my story, especially as I talk about Tech Nation, Global Talent Visa, and how I got endorsed. So I've always heard about Tech Nation Visa, especially for people in my community. And each time I hear about the visa, I've always been like, this is tech. I've always had this feeling it's for core tech people, right? People that know how to code, right? The developers, the the engineers and all of that, right? Of course, I know working in a tech company, because my full-time role as a digital marketer, I work back in Nigeria. I used to work in a digital tech company, a fintech company actually, right? So that also gives a context to this conversation, right? So when I hear about the visa, I just shrug it off, right? I have never really paid attention to it. So I've had a couple of instances whereby about 2 or 4 people have told me about this, and I just said, okay, maybe it's not for me, right? So, but sometimes last year, that's 2021, yes, I think around January or February or so, when I was about rounding up my MBA program from Business School of Netherlands, right? So I thought about what next to be done, right? I've always nurtured the idea of founding or co-founding a tech startup, right? And my work in the digital tech sector also avails me the opportunity to meet various people every day, right? I meet people, I meet founders, I meet co-founders, I meet operators, operations experts. I meet a lot of people in the tech sector, right? So I've always had the opportunity to talk to them. I mean, hear about their challenges, hear about the opportunities that still abound in the tech space, the kind of ideas I've always had, how I can bring it to life, and all of that, right? So as not to digress. So after that, I then thought about various parts, right, that I can then use to leave the country, because I've always fancied the idea, of course, of living in Nigeria. Like many of you, right? Everybody wants to Japan, right? Yeah. So I then started exploring my options, right? Canada was number 1 on the list. US was number 2. Then yes, UK. UK was actually the list of my options, because in terms of my plans, right? So I then looked through. Canada wasn't given PR as at then. They altered. They put a stop to the PR and all of that. US was moving mad with their different visa restrictions and all of that. Fun fact: I've had about 2 or 3 rejections at Water Carrington, right? And so that wasn't even a pleasant experience. I said, okay, so what other options? So that then leads to UK. So I then sat down, UK, okay, what means? I can't do, I'm too old for schooling. I was just about doing my MBA, finishing my MBA. Then I said, okay, so let me look at, then technician then came to mind. A friend of mine, actually, a colleague, a subordinate of mine actually, was the UI UX designer at my former place of work. He then said, while a technician, don't you are qualified for this thing, why not just go through it? I said, bro, I know about technician, Jerry, but I don't know why I've never thought about it. So that conversation that day then spurred the action of me then going online to then even read extensively about technician. And the interesting part about technician visa is the resources out there are massive, right? From YouTube to the technician guideline itself on their website, to the unauthorized, unofficial forum where what's the name of that platform now, where you have a lot of people giving advices, right? Then to so many people, even on LinkedIn, right? You can check out so many technician alumni on LinkedIn, get information and all of that. But mind you, in some cases, when you're trying to get information, so especially from alumni, some people might not be open-minded. Some people might not be willing to give you any form of information, right? Everybody will not be the same. Everybody will not be Bade that is willing to help, that is willing to give out free information. Everybody will not be like Francisca that was willing to give. Everybody will not be like me that is willing to talk about this and do all of that, right? Some people would rather hush about it and not even want to share their success story or want you to know about how they immigrated to the UK. Right. And one thing I've always said is sharing your story, right? Talking about your success and how you attain whatever, right? Won't take away anything from you, right? It won't deprive you of any other opportunities that come your way. It won't take away that visa you've already gotten. So why not just try and help people as much as you can, right? Even if you have to consult, even if it's paid and all of that, right? So So I started gathering information, right? I think around May or so, and then by May, I've made a list of the steps, right? Because one thing about me, I like to do a lot of documentations so as not to lose track. So I've made a list of things to do. Number one is to talk to people I feel that can recommend me, because one of the, I mean, I assume everybody, and I mean, we all know what all the documents, the necessary documents are, right? So the first thing for me, which I think was the most important and rigorous thing to do, was to get people to recommend me. So I then looked within my network, right? People I've worked with in the industry, people I've had encounter with, and all of that. So I penned down 5 people, and I said, these 5 people, these are the people I know that they can recommend me. I just need to talk to them. So after that, I then sent out emails to these guys, telling them about my plan, what technician, of course, not all of them know what technician is. I gave them a brief introduction of what technician is, what I need this thing for, and various relevant links that can help them to even make their own research. Because you have to be careful. In some cases, some of these people that are recommending you, that can recommend you, might not even know what technician is, right? So they might feel it's for something else, right? So people need more information in order for them to know what they are venturing into. So you need to help them with that background. So I did a background introduction, attached relevant links, right? And then told them what I wanted. Then about 3 of them go back to me and said, of course they can do it. I just need to, I mean, knowing how busy they are, they want me to just do like a template, right? Type whatever I want, send to them. They'll read through it, make any addition, make any remove anything they can remove, sign and send back to me. Right. So fortunately for me, out of the 5, 4 of them actually go back to me with recommendation letters after I've given them a guide, like a template, right? They removed what they wanted to remove, added some and all of that. That's that about the recommendation. So I got 4 recommendations. I needed 3, but I got 4 recommendations because at the end of the day, I envisaged, I mean, if I had penned down 3 people, maybe only 1 or 2 of them would reply, right? So I just had to plan for that. I had to plan ahead. So 4 of them go back to me, right? Then I went to the next document, which was the CV, right? So from the technician guideline, you needed, I mean, 3-page CV, right? And they've made it very easy for you to pull all of this together. They've told you what they want on the CV, the format, and all of that. That was like the easiest part of the document. So I did that, right? So what else? Then moving on to my personal statement. So personal statement is very, very important, right? And technician made this very simple by breaking down like a summary of what they want to put in the personal statement. Of course, you can find all of this on the technician visa guideline. I assume we all know where that is, right? Where you have to talk about what you've done within your community, what you do with your 9 to 5, what you done outside your 9 to 5, your planned occupation in the UK, where you plan to stay in the UK, how the UK can benefit of your talent, and all of that, right? Which was I would say not so easy, but quite straightforward. And then the last part of the document is, of course, the 10 pieces of evidence, which I'm going to talk more extensively on, because one thing I've learned, or one thing technician has taught me, is for every part of your journey, you need to document, tell your story, and then make use of every available channel to put yourself out there. So looking back at my career journey and what I've done with Lagos Digital Summit, I then thought about it. So what if all of these things I've done, I've not been documenting them, I've not been taking pictures, I've not been doing YouTube videos, I've not been attending events, I've not been speaking at events, right? How would I have qualified for this thing? So one major takeout for me, which I think is very important, right, for everybody here or anybody here that wants to apply for technician visa, right, or any other opportunity, you need to learn how to document your story, how to document. See, there's nothing like like significant milestone. A milestone is a milestone. Anything you've done right, that you've never done before, learn to talk about, learn to celebrate it at every given instance, right? Sometimes volunteering is also a very good thing you need to do, right? Part of the things that technician puts down as what you can submit as evidence, volunteering certificate also is included, right? So I've had the privilege of volunteering for different tech projects. I've had the opportunity of volunteering at one of the Lagos State government organized educational program, which was Ready Set Work, which was organized by Fela Bankolemo, the current special advisor to the vice president on education. So then I was going to LASU almost every weekend to teach various people, students of Lagos State universities on different subjects: social media, digital marketing, work ethics, how to get job after schooling, and all of that. So all of these things, in essence, formed a credible part of my evidence, right? Speaking events, I've had the privilege of speaking at Social Media Week Lagos. I think that was in 2018 and 2019. I've also had the privilege of attending some other relevant tech events, right? I've had the privilege of being invited by the British Council, with the British government, to an open day they had at their consulate back then. So most of these things, I've also had the privilege of writing articles, right? Tech marketing articles for some of the leading news platforms in Nigeria. So, and also, of course, my work with Lagos Digital Summit, right? So all of this put together formed my evidence for technician visa application, right? And also at my former place of work, where I was doing my 9 to 5 as the head of marketing, digital marketing, right? I needed to show a proof of a product I've worked on, or a product I've worked on as in form of digital marketing, a product I've had my efforts, right? I've launched from zero and grew the products to a significant number, right? So all of those put together made up my evidence for technician. And what else? I was quite skeptical. So from May, I gathered all my evidence, put all my documents together, including evidence, my personal statement, my recommendation letters, and my CV. I think then June, I summoned up courage to then apply after extensive review, right? Because it's not just enough to get all of these things together. I needed to then sit down to make extensive research so that I know if there's any mistake I'm making, if there's what I need to add, if there's something I need to remove, and all of that. So, and like I said, talking to technician alumni also also went a long way, right? Just like anybody that comes to me now to talk, to ask me for whatever it is about technician, I also try to give them as much information as I can, right? So ending of June, I applied, right? And for the application, you need to wait 3 weeks, right, before you get your endorsement decision. Sometimes some people are very lucky, right? They don't waste time. Sometimes 1 week, sometimes I've heard of 3 days. Some people are very lucky, right? So mine took 3 weeks exactly, right? That wait was like I wasn't nervous because my mind wasn't even there. I just said, okay, let me just apply. I've zeroed up my mind. What's the worst that could happen? They won't give me. Of course, I move on to other plans, right? And as God would have it, July, 3 weeks, immediately 3 weeks after, I got a mail notification telling me my endorsement has been approved. Technicians deemed me fit for exceptional talent, right? So, of course, exceptional talent is when one of the criteria is when you spend more than 4 years in your role, more than 4 years experience, and you can provide all of the mandatory and criteria evidence to prove or to back that up. Then exceptional promise is when you have less than 5 years experience. So I got that letter, and yes, I was excited. I won't lie. Then I needed to cool off because it wasn't an easy process. So I chilled for like a week before I proceeded to stage 2, right? There was a particular person I was talking to within the alumni community. I just told him, bros, this thing came, and then he was also waiting for his stage 2 visa, because the stage 2, when he has already applied for his visa, so was waiting for the visa decision. I said, well, I'm happy for you and your family. That's a good news. Me, I'm still waiting for my visa. When mine comes, we'll celebrate that also. So I just chilled, and the 1 week, I then used that to then read further about stage 2. Stage 2 is very easy, right? The major part of your work is done in stage 1. 95% actually is done in stage 1. Like I said in one of my videos, the stage 2 is just 5%. If they don't give you your visa in that stage 2, it means it's village people. It's your village people that are to work. Or probably you have a criminal record, right? Because they are very peculiar. They're very particular about crime record. So if you have any crime record, that might be an obstacle to your journey, right? And so I applied for my stage 2, myself and my wife, right? And that's I didn't do priority, because there was actually no need to do priority. Priority is if you want instant or quick decision. I did the normal route, uploaded all my documents on the TLS platform, went for my tuberculosis test, did my what's the other one again? Apart from test, there was one other one we did. I can't remember, but they billed me out.
Tuberculosis test. That's about it.
I think it's just TB now. Yeah, TB test, right? Yeah. So yes, we uploaded all those documents on their platform. Then waited another 3 weeks. That 3 weeks, I won't lie, this time around was like the longest wait of my life. I was nervous. Every day, I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I was refreshing. I was just refreshing my, well, I wasn't expecting the decision via phone or email. I would say, okay, maybe they will contact me via email, because I chose the option of them bringing the passports to my house, right? So I didn't do pickup, right? So I think it was a Friday, exactly 3 weeks afterwards. I just got a call from, I think it was DHL, I can't remember, yeah, that they used, that I have a package out there. I said, okay. And I went out there. I said, okay, so who is this from? They said I should open it. I said, wow. And again, opening it or them sending your passport for me wasn't like, it wasn't what's the word now? It wasn't, what's the word? It wasn't a guarantee that your visa was inside. So I needed to still open to be sure, did they give me this thing or not, or is rejection or bounce letter that is inside. So luckily, we opened, and then of course, the 3 months temporary vignet was there, right? Which you then needed to travel at any point in time you wanted. And the most interesting part of it is that I didn't. There was when filling out your stage 2, you have the option of filling out a day, the particular date you want to leave the country. So for me, I wasn't in a rush, because I was working on several projects back then in the country, in Nigeria. I was planning for the 5th edition of Lagos Digital Summit in November. So while I was applying in July, I had feel that I won't be leaving the country till December. Right. So I got our visas in August. Right. The visa won't start counting. It didn't start counting till December. So I think we left Nigeria December or thereabout. Yeah, so that is my journey, and I know deep down, anyone on the call will then want to ask, so what are the advantages of technician visa? What is it for me? How do what does it mean, and all of that? So for me, number one on the list is it gives you that positioning and recognition on a global scale, right? It gives you it gives you the opportunity to come into the UK to do any sort of work. There's no restriction to the kind of work you can do, except that you can't be a doctor, or you can't do sports, right? Which is fair enough. At this my old age, which ball I want to play again, which doctor I want to go to again in this age, right? So you also have access to the tech community, right? Especially when you are building something, right? And it's not something you just start at. The opportunity doesn't just come at once when you land, right? So life is a process. You build it, build community, build relationship, join relevant community, look out for relevant opportunity. I mean, opportunities don't come, you look out for it, right? So that is one for me. Then the second one for me is the ability or the opportunity to become a UK citizen, right, is the fastest route and easiest route actually to become a UK citizen, right? Because as an exceptional talent in my own case, after 3 years, I can apply for my ILR, indefinite leave to remain. And after a year after that, I can then apply for my British citizen. After that, then I can decide to say, come, I have the Adewale, I'm not doing it again. I'm going back to my country, or I'm going to anywhere. I want to go to Canada, I want to go to UK, I want to US, I want to start a new life there. Of course, I have the red passport already. I can come in anytime I want and all of that. So that's my own story. The opportunities has been massive. The connection, the kind of connections I've made. Good people like Bade in the technician group who have been helpful every step of the journey. And of course, I can guarantee you when you come in, if your application is successful, of course, there is a massive community with, especially for Nigerians, right? There's a Nigerian community you can actually join for technician, where you have a support group actually, right? And I think that's, don't let me bore you with my story. Let me just end it there. So if you have questions, I'll yield the mic to Bade now. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adewale. I see a bunch of questions already in the chat. We'll come to those questions. I will also say to the audience that if you have a question, please do drop it in the chat. It is unlikely we'll have time for an open consultation session today, but if we do have time, we will take it as well. But yeah, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. And for those watching this video after as well, if you have a question, you can actually drop it in the chat and the member of the team will do well to answer your question as well. Adewale, there's a question here around, do they contact people who give letters? So I believe this person is asking around the recommenders to say, do they call the recommenders? I can say that they will Google your recommenders, because your recommenders have to be exceptional and they have to be leaders in the field of technology as well. As far as I know, they don't call, but Adewale, I don't know if you want to share a bit of light on that. Do they contact people who give letters?
I don't think they call. I've not, because I have relationship with these people, my own, people that recommended me, and I asked for feedback. They didn't call them. But one thing that is very important, which will help you as the applicant, is you have to tell the people recommending you, they have to attach their LinkedIn profile or their Wikipedia profile if they don't have that, or their CV. They just need to verify. So they have their own process, which I don't know about. I'm not there. I'm not in their internal whatever. They have their own process of verifying apart from calling. Anybody can be at the other side of the phone. So calling wouldn't even be enough way to verify it. The internet is a powerful tool. With their LinkedIn profile and their Wikipedia, or just Googling their name, a whole lot of information they want to see about them will pop up.
Interesting. Another question here from the community is that how long did it take between when you found out about the visa to the point when you decided to apply to the point when you got your endorsement? So I know it took you a while to decide to apply, but then after deciding to apply, how long did it take you to get the endorsement as well?
Okay, so my timeline goes like this. After I know about this visa since 2019 or 2019, late 2019. I didn't decide to apply till I think March 2021, right? Even as a March, I took a while to then study. So March, April, May. So from April, I started reading about technician on their forum, on the website, and all of that. May, I started talking to alumni that granted me audience. Then June 24th, I remember that date, I applied. July, third week, I got a response for endorsement, right? Then I didn't apply for stage 2 until after a week. Then August, I think mid-August, we got our visas mid-August, right? But like I said, I decided not to travel immediately. So I waited till December before I then traveled. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, I believe it does. And then I think this is a question from me around your recommenders. I mean, you don't have to mention names, but could you just describe your recommenders and what were they saying about you in their letters? Because I know there's a lot of information out there for software developers and all of that, but for digital marketing, growth hacking, not as much information. What was your relationship with these recommenders and what were they saying about you? You can just talk about each one of the letters and recommenders. You don't have to mention names since this is being recorded.
Okay, so for my recommenders, so I'll start with one of them that works with one of the FANG companies, right? So my nature of work, outside my regular 9 to 5, I do a lot of social media influencing for brands. So I've had the privilege of working with these guys, right? And they've seen the value I bring to the table in terms of helping them to meet their marketing objectives, leveraging my social media platforms, right? So writing that letter to one of their managers, right, was a very quick decision for them. I mean, for her to grant, because what she wrote was about my impact, how I've impacted their brand using my platforms, right? And she had also spoken at one of the editions of Lagos Digital Summit. So she spoke about my impact with Lagos Digital Summit, how I'm the convener of Lagos Digital Summit, the impact of the summit, the number of attendees, right? And what else? Then also spoke about my intended occupation in the UK. Of course, my occupation will be around digital technology. And I think basically that the other part of the letter was like introducing herself, talking about herself, then a LinkedIn profile, and I think she had a Wikipedia profile also basically. Then the second person that recommended me was the CEO of where I was working then, right? So like I said, I was working in one of the fintech platforms in Nigeria, right? So this not CEO, the ED, executive director, right?
Okay.
So who was a very close friend of mine, and at some point we would directly work together on the product he was launching when he was a business development manager before being promoted to ED. So he talked about how I helped his unit to launch their products, how I build digital strategies to help them launch their products, the impact the product has made, the number of downloads, the number of users, the revenue. So, I mean, those are the metrics they want to hear, right? They would just want to see the impact in numbers. Then he also talked about, of course, he had not attended Lagos Digital Summit, but he mentioned, I mean, of course, he knows my work with Lagos Digital Summit. He mentioned, I think he also mentioned that I've spoken at one of the, I think Lagos Social Media Week, yes. And of course, his own profile, he added his CV and all of that. Then the third person is a media owner. So he owns a digital marketing firm, one of the biggest digital marketing firms in Lagos. So he recommended me as the founder of that company, of that digital media company. He spoke about my influencing job on social media, my impact on brands. He talked about Lagos Digital Summit. He talked about basically that. Then of course he added his own CV too. So this, what they want to see is how this person, yes, they added, of course, in the introduction, they added how they know me and where they know me from, and the number of years, of course, they've known me from. So that is also important. So what they just want to see is, how do you know this person? For how long have you known this person? What have they done? What impact, right? Do you know that they've made? What do you why are you recommending them? Yes, exactly. Why are you recommending them for technician? What do you think they would do in the UK? How do you think they will add value to the UK tech economy?
Oh, thank you so much for that. And I mean, I was coming to this question later, but I'll just ask it now. Can you advise the community generally about around building relationships? Because obviously these were high-level relationships you needed to pull. Do you have some key advice for around relationship building for the community, particularly those that are looking to apply in the future, but also people that already want to apply right now and are looking for who they will be asking to recommend them?
Okay, my strategy about building relationship is to add value, right? Because I see a lot of young people trying to force their way into people's lives. So there's this Yoruba adage that says before you to step on a cold ground, you need to pour water on it, right? So you don't just meet someone today or you know them maybe off this chat, and then the next thing you are bombarding them with emails or DMs. Let me do this, let me do that. Like, what kind of parasitic relationship is that? I mean, these people have a lot of things they're going through. They have a lot of things they are doing in their lives also. So nobody can just come out from nowhere and just, I mean, from where to where now. You need to have added value to their own life also. It could be in form of, sir, please, I saw this thing you're working on. How can I volunteer? This is what I'm good at. Let me help you with this thing. I'm a graphic designer. Can I help you design banner? This banner that they did for you or you did is fine. I can help you improve it. Give value, right? Let them see the kind of what you are bringing to the table, not you just coming from nowhere and then making requests that even people that they have in their lives before, they might not even grant. So you need to build that level of trust, add value, and then be patient, right? It's just like a flower. A flower will not, it won't mature in a day. Learn to build relationship. You don't know someone this day, today, and next week you're already making demands or girl from where to where. So just be patient. Just the same way I know the guys, I don't know how many number of guys we have here, or girls. You can't meet a guy or a girl today and the next thing start billing. You want to start billing the person tomorrow. What now? It's not done like that. So let me just say this.
So let's talk about money, because I see a number of questions coming in the chat about money, because I was going to go to the documents you submitted, but let's talk about money, then we'll go to some of the documents you submitted. I believe this is in public domain. How much did you spend in total to move? But do you want to share some maybe insight unique to you around that? So I mean, there's a lot that this person can probably Google, but do you want to share some insight around your own, some of your own costs? I mean, you don't have to reveal anything private anyway.
Yeah, interestingly, I made notes of those spendings at some points, and let me try and get it out in my draft. So the first thing first is the technician application fee, which, like you rightly said, that is most of these things are in the public domain. The technician application fee is £456. So which, when you convert that, maybe about 400 or 450,000 naira or so. Right, but you have to pay. I mean, because of the restriction on a Niger card, you can't use your Niger card. I think the restriction is $100 or $200 per day or so. So you need someone that has a DOM account with a DOM card, right? That can, or someone. In my own case, someone paid for me. I used someone's card. Someone paid for me from the UK. I just gave the person my login and paid and all of that, right? Then IHS payments, right? The IHS payment is like is health surcharge. So when you're coming to the UK, they don't joke with their health surcharge, right? Regardless the kind of visa you're coming in on, you need to pay your health surcharge, which is total, sorry, which is 2,700 for me, because my own visa was 3 years. So let me see, 2007 divided by 3, because it's just the total I wrote down. So 7.
It's around 600 and something, if I remember correctly.
Per year, yeah, per year, yeah. So mine was 2007 in total, right? Then after that, when your visa is now, I mean, when your stage 1 application, no, when your
stage,
your visa fee, your visa, your visa fee is $219. Then, of course, your TB, tuberculosis test that I mentioned, 57,800. Then TLS booking. So TLS is a third-party company that helps the UK government with visa booking. So they have a platform where you upload all your documents, you walk in there to submit your passport and all of that. So the booking for that one was around 60,000 on their website. Then there's a visa booking again, which is not visa fee. The first one I mentioned is visa fee. Then there's visa booking, which that one goes to, you pay that one on TLS website also. That one is around $81. Then, then what else? COVID test. That's when you're flying. Your COVID test, 50,000 for or so. Then flight ticket, depending on the time, the day, the airline, of course, that you're going with.
Well, you really took note of every single person. That is really, really commendable, right? But I believe that the audience, you can find this in the public domain, all these costs that he has listed and the current amount for each one of those costs that he has listed as well. You mentioned around extensive review, and I think there's a question in the chat around, did you hire any consultant to review your documents as well? So, I mean, in Immigrate, we do have a premium service where we help people reviewing their documents and all of that. But this person would like to know, did you hire anybody? And then in terms of extensive review, was it more the alumni, or did you also get someone to take a look for you?
Sorry, there's a question that is that is very amusing.
Oh, I see. So I think we should correct that impression. The first cost that you will spend is just your application fee for stage 1, right? And so if you do not get endorsed, yes, that would be a case where you would, I mean, that is non-refundable. However,
you can even appeal the end. I mean,
exactly. That's where I was coming to that. You can also appeal that, which is what is called an endorsement review process. So your application fee actually covers your endorsement review process. If they do not give you the endorsement, you can appeal to say, I believe that the assessors made a mistake. And that cost is already covered in your application fee. I believe that's £400 or thereabout. I can't remember exactly, but you can check that. That's the only cost you need to invest at the beginning of the process. The rest of it, and once you get your endorsement, you are 95% done. You are more or less guaranteed the visa, except you've overstayed on your visa before, or you have a criminal record or any of those things, but you are sort of guaranteed of a visa. And the other fees he's talking about will be at that point. And it's also an investment anyway, for depending on the way you look at it. All right, back to the question I was asking around extensive review, alumni, hire consultants. What was your own pathway?
Yes, interestingly, I didn't hire anybody. I did everything myself, right? Because, like I said, I wasn't really keen on it. So if it's something that I said I was very keen on, or I've tried before, I've not gotten it, I would have hired, a consultant, right? But because in my own case, let me just try this thing, right? But in so many instances during the process that I had a lot of doubts or questions, I reached out to people that were willing to answer my question. But my advice to anybody on this call, because people are different, right? If you are not sure of your ability to properly document and arrange stuff or make research, please don't jeopardize your chances. You can hire a consultant, right? And that is where Immigrate comes in, right? Especially where you need to be sure, will this evidence suffice? Or is there any other one I should use? Or did I write this letter well? Is my CV enough? If you have so many doubts, if the doubts and questions are too much, then you need to answer a consultant. Because in my own case, merely looking at it from the surface, I said, this is something I qualify for, let me just try it. So that's it in my own case.
What we advise is that is either you spend time or you spend money. If you spend time, there's a lot of free resources out there. Even in Immigrate community, there's a lot of things that is available for free. These sessions, for example, there are alumni that are willing to help. We offer a 10 minutes consultation or coaching session that you can also use that. There are sessions in which you can also attend. Different visa ambassadors operate office hours on a weekly or monthly basis where you can go into that office hour and also ask questions, share some of the document. They can take a cursory look at it and so on. So start with what you can get for free, right? But then if you need to, what we also advise is that get someone to review your application as well, whether it's for free, whether it's paid. The reason is very simple, because the way you look at your application is different from how somebody else will look at your application. They would ask you questions that you assume that other people should know. They would, and those kinds of questions can also get you to put additional documents, additional evidence as necessary in your application. So we wouldn't say, oh, go ahead and hire someone, even if it is us, right? No, we would say, first of all, spend the time, do the research, use the free resources that we've mentioned, read the visa guide, but then if you need help, you can get the help. However, please bear in mind as well that the people trying to help, it's not their day job to help you. And so respect their time as well. Be grateful for whatever time they are able to offer in terms of helping, and don't expect too much for free, is what I would just say. Thank you for that answer, Wale. So let's go to your documents. I know you've mentioned it already, and so would you want to talk about the categories you applied under, and then what documents did you submit under those categories? So leading talent was compulsory. Was it innovation? Was it recognition? Was it impact? Was it the academic one? And then what are some of the documents you submitted under each one? You've mentioned it before, but it may be good in terms of categorization for some of the audience.
Okay, so of course I applied for exceptional talent, right? And for me, most of my documents were, I think let me start with the compulsory part. So they were majorly about things I've done that positions me as an exceptional leader, as a leader in my field. One of them, like I mentioned, is around what I do outside my regular 9 to 5, which is one of them is Lagos Digital Summit. So as the convener of Lagos Digital Summit, so there are various articles or publications about Lagos Digital Summit on media outlets, big media outlets, right? So which I could use. I picked up news publications about Lagos Digital Summit, picture, what do you call that in newspaper now? Picture news, photo story, right? Photo story, that's right. What I think Guardian, was it Guardian or Punch, where I was standing with some of the speakers, my name was mentioned, right? A screenshot of that. Then what else? So there was a YouTube video. So there was a YouTube video where I was invited to channels to speak. I think it was Ebuka on Robin Minds to speak on. I think it was before the election in 20. Was it 20? What was the last? When was the last election?
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Yes. So before the election, 2019. Yeah, to speak about the use of social media and the effect of social media on elections and all of that. So fortunately for me, there was a recording on Channel's YouTube page. So I just went to search for it, and then I picked the link, right, and did a screenshot of while I was talking, put it on a Word document, put the link, and just small write-up description. I submitted that as an evidence. Then there was another one where I was speaking at Social Media Week Lagos in 2019. Yes, I clipped. So that one there was no recording. I just did a screenshot of my profile on Social Media Week's page. Then it's a picture that I took at Social Media Week. Then just put small write-up and a link to that profile. Then what else? Yes, then I think so. I think you're supposed to provide just one or two compulsory. So I think I provided about 4. So I provided about 4. Then there was one article, one publication I wrote on, I think, tech Next or Tech About, I can't remember. I did a screenshot of that. So that was just my contribution talking about digital technology in Nigeria and how Nigeria can increase mobile penetration rate and all of that. Then talking about the optional criteria, then I picked some of the events I've gone to, right?
Nice recognition, right?
Yes, recognition. Yes, recognition. That's the right word, recognition. Right. Some of the events I've gone to. Then some of the volunteer, the Lagos State education, something I mentioned. So there was a volunteer certificate I was given by the Lagos by Ready Set Work team in collaboration with Lagos State government. I did a screenshot of that volunteer certificate. I did a screenshot of me speaking in class to some of the students. Then I think there was a link to a video of me speaking in class on the Ready Set Up Instagram page. I copied that link and put it on every single one document. Then use that as another evidence. Then in my 9 to 5 job, there was a project I worked on, a new product, launch. So there was a dashboard on one of the analytics dashboards that talked about the product projection, the number of downloads, the revenue, the sign-ups, the lifetime value of the customers, right? The cost per acquisition, and all of that. Then in any of these cases, there was, if there are any instances where currency, maybe amounts were mentioned, right? There was one that mentioned naira, so I needed to convert that naira to pounds just for them to understand the impact. So basically, let me see, is there any other thing I've missed out?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Yes.
Better than I actually expected. So thank you for that. We're drawing to the end of this edition. I'll just take a couple more questions on this chat. We would say a few things from the Immigrate community, and then we'll be coming back to Adewale, who is going to be sharing his final words. Adewale, we would like you to also advise different categories of the Immigrate community once we come back to you, which is the beginner category, just getting into the field of tech. We've got the people who are intermediates. They have 5, 6, 7, 8 years experience in the field of tech. What should they be doing now? And then obviously the experts who are ready to apply, the experts who are experts in their field, head of IT in banks, and co-founders or founders of startups and so on. We'd like you to advise them as well. But I'll just take a couple of questions from this chat, and then we'll jump to a few words from Immigrate, and then we'll come back to Adewale. One of the questions is around age limits for applying for the technician. There is no specified age limit. However, if you are over 55, you may need to also explain the level of value you are bringing to the UK, the level of value you are taking to that economy. If you're over about 55 or 60 or thereabouts, there's something called ageism in developed economies. So they can now actually discriminate against you on the basis of age. However, if you're already at retirement age, then obviously you have to then be, it would likely not be for you. So there's no age limit. It gets even better. If you were in a different profession and then you switch to tech, your 5 years for exceptional promise starts counting from the day you switch to tech. So there are lawyers who have 20 years experience as law, but then they moved into legal tech, and then they got exceptional promise because they only started in tech at that point, and they are promising in their career in the field of technology. So do bear that in mind. Did they send you a letter of employment? Yes, if you have a letter of employment, you need to submit that as part of your application process. Do you need educational qualification? There were about 2 questions around that. The truth is no, because if what they want to see is, are you a leader or a leading talent in the field of technology? That's the first thing they want to see. But they want to see both the things you've done within your employment or your startup, if that's what you have, and also the things that you have done outside your day-to-day employment. They would like to see that as well. You don't absolutely have to have a degree for this particular visa type. There are other visa options all over the world, some of them that expect you to have a degree and all, but the technician visa for the UK specifically, you do not need to have a degree. We spoke about this at the beginning of the session. We'll just touch on them again to say there are a bunch of free resources. There was a question around that as well. And I would say start from the things you can get for free. Immigrate, for example, as a community and as a platform operates a freemium model. We do a lot of things for free. And then, of course, we do charge a premium for some things that we offer as well. Start with the things that you can get for free. Spend time researching and all of that. And then if you need additional help, obviously, then you can pay for additional help as well. Some of the free resources are available out there today, and the links are on the screen. You can take a screenshot of the link. The Tech Nation Visa Guide, it will take you about 1 hour to read it twice. It gives you a lot of information. There's a discourse community. It's an unofficial community managed by Tech Nation Visa alumni. There's a lot of information there, and there are a lot of Visa alumni that are willing to help, are willing to answer questions. Tech Nation team themselves, they've also come up with the Understanding the UK Tech Nation Visa events, which is supposed to hold monthly. That's going to change a bit, but you can look out for that as well. You can attend that and you can ask questions directly to the members of the Tech Nation Visa team. Also, we do run Tech Nation Visa Ambassador Office Hours, where it's a Zoom call, it's an open call as well, where you can ask specific questions around the Tech Nation Visa. If you need to speak with a Visa alumni or a Tech Nation Visa ambassador, you can join one of those office hours. The link is also on the screen. You can take a screenshot of that. From an Immigrate perspective, as I mentioned earlier, we do a lot of things for free, and then we also charge a premium for some other things as well. Some of those services are on the screen. The Immigrate community, for example, where you can ask questions and so on. The monthly open day. I spoke about the fact that we have the next open day coming up on the second Wednesday or the first Wednesday of March, which is March 2nd. The next open day will be coming up, and that will be focusing on the UK Startup Visa and the UK Innovator Visa. We'll be focusing on that. I'll speak a bit more about that shortly. We have the Immigrate Open Consultation. We have short inquiry sessions where you can book to ask questions. And then we have some premium offerings as well that you can take advantage of. We have a community where you get videos, information, and all. We ask that you share, like, engage, comment, and tell other people about these opportunities. Wale spoke about something that some people, he didn't know about this until somebody mentioned it to him to say, oh, did you know that you could actually qualify for this? And then he looked deeper at it and realized that, hey, oh, I really qualify for this. And then he went ahead to do his application. We spoke about the Bincom Global Tech Program, 3 key pillars: learn skills, gain experience, gain exposure in the field of tech. If you're a beginner just starting, you can book this program. If you are in your intermediate level and you need the right experience and exposure, you can also join this program, which will help you. And the company is also willing to invest in you for you to gain the skills, gain the experience, gain the exposure before you start paying the company back, which is an investment. The mentoring platform, you can mentor on this structured platform. Labs by Bincom is available. You can start working on a startup with a team of people who are also interested in doing that, because guess what? It's one of the ways where you can show yourself as globally attractive, even if your startup fails at the end of the day. The fact that you have an experience building a startup helps your portfolio and helps your career in the long run. At the Headhunter service, if you are looking at relocating, particularly in the UK, we've launched in the UK already. We're looking at launching in the US in the future, but in the UK, if you're looking at relocating and you're looking at landing your next role in the UK really fast, you may want to consider this service, because what it does for you is helps you to build the relevant experience, gets you in touch with the right technical recruiters for your specific roles, and also helps you to get that role that you will be looking for next as quickly as possible. One more thing I will just mention is that we realized that in the Immigrate community, we found that a number of people I've decided that, oh, fine, I want to relocate from my home country at all costs. And for that, they've decided that one of the ways they can do that is for them to book as a student and get the UK visa 1 year as a student, no pathway to settlement. And then, yes, you qualify for the post-study visa, which is another 2 years, which also has no pathway to settlement, a total of 3 years of no pathway to settlement. Their plan, to a large extent, is that I would find a pathway to settlement once I've moved to the UK. And that is correct to say, if you move to the UK, it is easier for you to get work that will sponsor you, for example, which is really correct. However, we're saying that if you are a tech talent, you may also want to consider the UK startup visa and the UK innovator visa. So if you do not yet qualify for the technician visa, which is the gold standard in visas, that's what we think, and that's what we believe, particularly for the UK. You can't think about the UK startup visa or the UK innovator visa. With the UK startup visa, there's no pathway to settlement as well, but it gives you 2 years. And within those 2 years, you can also look for options. So with the student route, you have 3 years to look for options for settlement. With the startup visa, which is far cheaper for you, you can use the 2 years to find a pathway to settlement. It gets better because from an Immigrate perspective, the major gate with the startup visa is that you need to get an endorsing body who would endorse you for that specific visa. We can help with that. You also need to start figuring out a pathway to settlement in the long run. We can also help with that from an Immigrate perspective. And so, yes, that's the bonus information we wanted to mention around. And in the next Immigrate Open Day, which would be in 2 weeks or so, we will be focusing on this specific visa type, the startup visa, and then the innovator visa. The innovator visa has a pathway to settlement. I will talk a lot about this during the next Immigrate Open Day. I'm coming back to you now, Adewale, and I would like you to just give some words to our different category of audience. There are 5 of them in total, but I wanted you to start with the first 3. Starting with the beginners, what should a beginner be doing now? They are interested in this. They believe that they could qualify in the future. Immigrate and Global Tech Program says within 2 years you can qualify. But what do you think they should be doing now?
Okay, so as a beginner, if you're here as a beginner, that you've not started your journey in tech, I think the first thing for me is define your niche and find your tribe. So when I say define your niche, look at list about 3 or 4 different tech sectors or tech professions that you want to right? So which one fits your personality? Which one do you think fits into your dream? Right? Then go for it. When I say go for it, start from YouTube. Go to YouTube. So if it's UI UX design, go to YouTube. There are lots of UI UX design tools on YouTube, right, that you can learn from. Then the other part that I said, get your tribe, know your tribe, or find your tribe. Find your tribe means look for people that resonate with your goals, people that are already in that sector, UI UX designers. Connect with them. Don't connect with them to bombard them with questions. Connect to them to learn from them from afar. A mentor, someone can be your mentor, but you don't even necessarily have to interact with them. I have mentors, I have people I learn from afar, right? I look at what they do, I get inspired, I follow them back to back, I retweet their tweets, I read their articles, I see how I can infuse what they do into my own lifestyle, how I can better what I'm doing and all of that. Right. Talking about YouTube channel, let me use this platform to advertise my YouTube channel. I just dropped the link.
Please go ahead. And also the Lagos Digital Summit.
So I have lots of people in tech that I do interview on the channel. I've had someone in UI UX. I've had someone in growth marketing. I've had someone in health tech startup. I've had someone in product management. And of course, my technician global visa talent is also there, where you can watch and get so many inspiration. And please don't just watch. Please, I'm begging, subscribe. As I'm helping you, help me also to grow. Please subscribe. I think I'll end it there.
The link to the channel will be in the description for those watching the video later.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks so much. So I think I'll end it there for the starters. Then for people that are already
intermediates, they're already 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, 8 years.
I'll start by saying what I started in this video. Document your journey, celebrate your milestones, use every opportunity to you have to talk about what you do. Put yourself out there, right? There are so many people in this sector or in this industry that are doing a lot. They are doing great work, and nobody knows about them, right? My former place of work, I have lots of them, and I used to tell these guys, as maybe it's because I'm a marketing person, maybe because I work in marketing, and I've never I've never had any chance to talk about myself that I don't do it. Any small thing, I try to blow it up because that is how people can know you. That is how they can know what you do. That is how they can bring opportunities to you, right? So you can't spend 4 or 5 years in a role or in a field and one or two or at least five people can't mention your name that this is what this person does. It's wrong. Go wrong now. Very wrong. It's very wrong. So I will leave it there. Try to network, put yourself out there, link up with the right set of people, blow your trumpets, and the sky is the starting point.
And what would you advise the experts, the head of IT in banks, what would you advise them? 10 years experience, 15 years
for
experience?
The experts, they should come and give me money. They are experts for a reason. Don't mind me. So for expert, I would say there's no limit to what can be achieved, right? So being an expert in your field or having spent several years in your field doesn't stop you from learning new ropes, right? There are so many things as I'm still learning every day. So there are so many new things to still learn. There's so many new connections to still be made, right? You never can know where the next opportunity is coming from. And to add to that, please try and take up mentors. Try, maybe not direct mentors, but try and give tips. Talk about your experience. Let people share. Let people learn from your wealth of experience. Let them learn from you, basically. Help the community, help the ecosystem to grow.
And for the experts, we are also looking for mentors on the Bincom mentoring platform. So please, the link will likely be in the description as well for those not here, and it will be posted in the chat for those in this session right now. And so, yes, you can also help by mentoring people. That's one of the big things that you can show to show yourself as exceptional. So while those were the three categories, but we have two subcategories within those three categories. So we have the people who are ready to apply today. They've read all these things. They know that they qualify. They are all putting together their documents and all of that. What can you advise them?
I would say try and reach out to people, to alumni, technician alumni, especially when you're stuck. There's a Discord channel. There's that platform. It's an official. Badi mentioned it also. The unofficial technician forum where you can put out any question that where you are lost or you're stuck. People can help you, reply you, and all of that. Help you review your application if they have time. And apart from that, Immigrate is also there for you. Try, because when you're doing something, what is worth doing is worth doing well, right? You don't want to waste that chance. You don't want to waste that £456. So you want to ensure you're doing it right. Talk to Immigrate, right? Ask questions, right? And also, please don't falsify any documents. Don't even try it. I think that one is even more important than any other thing. Don't falsify your documents. If they catch you, they will blacklist your name. You can't enter the UK with any route again. Not just falsifying. Don't copy someone's template. That's how some people will tell me, come and send me your document. Why would I send you my document? I don't encourage such. I can help you. I can help you proofread. I can help you make inputs. But I can't send you. Don't go and collect someone's document that they've used. I've read someone. I've seen someone that they rejected because a technician, they are very clear with their rejection reasons. They stated it clearly that the document this person submitted is very similar to what someone else has submitted. It's a template. They stated it. They rejected the person, right? And please don't falsify anything. That's another story. Someone went to Photoshop. She went to Photoshop herself, speaking at a conference. Why? Why would you do that? That's a very dumb thing to do. Instead of doing that, look out for opportunities. Reach out to people that organize events. Please put me in your. I want to organize. I want to participate. I want to speak. Go there, speak. Wait for your time. You don't have to rush. You don't have to apply now. build your profile. I think I'll end it there before I talk too much.
And what we say at Immigrate is also become globally attractive. We don't want you to just fake it to make it. What we're saying is be globally attractive. And then when that time comes, you need to also package yourself well. One of the sessions we've had in Immigrate Open Day was around the 7 steps to endorsement. And one of those key ones is that once you are globally attractive, you need to ensure you put your best foot forward as well. Package your application well before applying. The last category, also a subcategory of the first 3 I mentioned, are people who are currently in the UK, but they don't have a pathway to settlement. So they're on different types of visas that does not have a pathway to settlement. They obviously do not qualify for the Tech Nation visa, not now, not yet at least. What would you advise them in terms of what they should be doing now? Because of course they can't sleep easy as well, because there's no pathway to settlement. There's a time counting towards when they will need to leave if they don't find a way around it. So what would you advise them?
Well, I don't want to sound like an immigration consultant. I think I'll leave that to the experts. I mean, that's putting me on the spot. Actually don't know. I actually don't have an answer to that. I mean, I don't want whatever I say to be taken as
legal or immigration advice. And that's really important to say again, that we do not offer legal or immigration advice. We are only sharing our experience. We're only sharing information available to us as at the time it's available to us. We are also making sure that we are focusing on this so that you can get information as quickly as possible. For example, the Tech Nation visa guide is going to be changing a little bit again in the next couple of weeks, and then you will hear it within the Immigrate community. Last question for you before I ask the last question, sorry. So is that, how do one become recognized as an expert in digital marketing? Do you have some resources out there that people can look at? Can you give some tips along that line for people who are in the digital marketing and field in terms of what they can be doing across their journey to becoming globally attractive?
Okay, first thing first, you learn by practicing, you learn by doing, right? It's enough to, I mean, it's not enough to take courses, to watch YouTube channels, right? You learn by actually doing the job, right? And then that goes to saying you then need to take on challenges or roles that allows you to then put what you've learned into practice. Even if you don't get an opportunity to volunteer, there are several volunteer roles, events that you can volunteer to then participate and put your skills into practice. Right. Apart from that, try to network with relevant community. Right. There was a point in time I was a part of DMPN. DMPN is called the Digital Media Practitioners of Nigeria. That had about 700 or 800 people in digital marketing in Nigeria. Right. There's another one that is digital marketing advertising practitioners of Nigeria, DMLPCA. That one too is there. So just join relevant communities, right, and try to link up and network with people in that community. Opportunities will come. Speaking opportunities will come. Opportunities to facilitate, opportunity to volunteer. I mean, don't miss out on any of those opportunities. Those are ways you can start putting yourself out there.
Thank you so much for that information. And I think the final one is just around final thoughts around this. You've shared a lot around in the last 1.5 hours as regards this pathway, as regards Tech Nation visa, as regards your own journey specifically. Do you have some final thoughts for the audience before we call it a day?
Well, yeah, final thoughts will be after listening to all of this, right? We can't make this decision for you. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still left to you to then go back, right? Think about your career path, think about your experiences related to the Tech Nation visa guideline. Does this apply to me, right? Am I qualified? right? What is my career goal? What do I want to do in the next 3, 4, 5 years? I mean, you need to ask yourself those difficult questions, right? You don't, I mean, it's not enough to just listen to everything you say there and then jump at it, right? You are the architect of your life, right? Everything still relies on you, right? So go back, sit down, reflect, and then if it is for you, jump on it. If you need questions, if you have questions, if you need answers, reach out to people. If you want consultation, register with Immigrate and then start your journey from there.
Thank you so much for that, Adewale. And then from us, we'll just say that there are many options available, many countries of the world that are looking for talent. The first thing is you becoming a talent yourself. Your first thing is you becoming globally attractive, and then you have options. And then within those options is the Technician visa. The visa itself is the UK Global Talent Visa for the field of digital technology. And then the endorsing body is Technician, and that's the reason why it's shortened as the Technician visa. That's an option for you. The requirement for that visa is available in public domain, and you already know what those requirements are today. That's the question paper and answer sheets already. The point is that you can build your own career to get to that level. If you already qualify today, then what you need to do is put your application together. You also need to be careful not to undersell yourself. You also need to be careful that you ensure that you are able to package yourself in the way where the assessors will recognize that this is a global talent. This is a talent that will be fit for the UK economy. We would also say that take action, regardless of what level that you are today, even if you're a beginner, even if you haven't started your journey at all, take the next step. We've spoken a lot around what your next step should be. The point is, if you know about these things and you don't take any action, you're not different from the people that do not know about this thing at all. And that's the final thought around telling people about these opportunities as well. We've discovered that many people do not know these opportunities exist. They don't know at all. And you know about these opportunities, let them know about it. Let them know that, oh, go Google this. Adewale spoke about the fact that it was someone that mentioned to him, and then it occurred to him to say, oh, yes, I do qualify for this. Some people that know as well, because they see the word exceptional, they see the word, the US has a way of putting it, I can't remember right now, but they see those words and they disqualify themselves mentally and subconsciously. And you may also be able to help to say, hey, what do you mean? You actually would qualify for this, and help them as well. A lot of information are available in public domain. The point is, are you going to make the best of the information available to you today? With that being said, thank you for joining us for this edition of Immigrate Open Day. Our next stop would be around moving into the UK within a 3 to 6 months period as a tech talent. And you'll find more information about that in the Immigrate community. Thank you. Adewale, we want to say a big thank you to you as well. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. We look forward to you coaching people within the Immigrate community as well. We'll be speaking about that later. And we look forward to, you mentoring more people and you sharing more information. Adewale's YouTube channel would be shared on the description and also would be in the comments or in the chat of this video. Thank you, everyone, and have a good